Hey guys, Ryan Magis here from Winning International. I'm really excited to share with you guys an amazing interview with one of our very special, amazing clients, Maggie Wilde, to talk about her journey. And we really discussed through the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, because there were plenty of both, on her journey from being pretty much a little bit in debt after 15 years of coaching, struggling to be able to get the business side of things going, despite how phenomenal she is at coaching, okay? All the way to the point where she is now, where she's literally making $10,000 a week consistently, doing amazing things in her coaching business. And in this video, we're gonna break down what she did to generate the leads, structure her business model, because she had 6 different streams and we put it down to one effective structure, which we're gonna discuss through with you guys, how she generated the leads, how she made the sales, and how she made that, what the difference was between where she was and where she is now. So really excited to share that with you guys. But before we do, this week we've got a few spots left to be able to have a session with you. If you're similar to Maggie Wilde and you're a coach and you've been, you're great at what you do coaching wise, but just struggling to generate the leads and the sales and get the cash flow through, and you're a little bit unsure of how to structure it properly, then go below this video. We've got a few spots open to have a free clarity session where we can at least give you the blueprint of what you need to be able to structure things the right way and get that success that Maggie was able to get. So go below, fill in your form, and if we've got time, we'll have a session with you this week, which would be awesome. But I'm really excited to get into the interview, so let's get straight into it right now. Hey guys, Ryan here with the gorgeous Maggie Wilde, one of our amazing clients, and pretty much here to help you guys learn how to pretty much consolidate your knowledge into a product and really monetize that super well. So you're gonna be learning the process that Maggie went through, and there's been lots of ups and downs, and we'll talk about both of those, to take her business to having multiple and just regularly having 10K weeks in the business, which is really cool. So just start off by telling the guys listening a little bit about what you do, and I know that you do a lot, so just a really precise.
I help people to rewire their brain out of old habits and behaviors that are unhelpful to them. So I have a number of products, both online courses and physical products like books and CDs, etc. And my specialty at the moment is based on the success of my weight loss book, which deals with the emotional connection to food. So we look at addictions to food, addictions to overeating, undereating, sweet cravings, alcohol, all of the things that cause the symptom of weight gain, if you like. So we look at that emotional connection and how to change it.
Awesome. So, very, very well put. Essentially, Maggie, you're a lady that's got an amazing amount of knowledge and talents, and on one case that's been such a huge leverage point, because just quickly, what are some of the TV shows and stuff you've been featured on?
Sunrise, most of the morning shows here, Sunrise, A Current Affair, The Daily Edition. I've been on a TV tour of the States. We've done San Diego Living.
Wow.
A number of things over there, lots of radio stations, the London Daily Mail.
Awesome. So you have the best-selling book called Unzipping the Fat Suit Using Your Mind. You've been featured in all these media outlets, and you've got all this amazing knowledge, actually not only just being an amazing therapist and coach yourself, but actually at a point coaching other therapists, hypnosis, people in hypnosis, etc. So, so much knowledge. However, it just wasn't 100% being, utilized to the best that it could be when we first started chatting. So obviously we're going to move on more to the success of having 10K weeks consistently now, which is awesome. But let's just sort of talk to the guys about where you started when we first chatted. That'd be really helpful.
Great success. If to look at what I was doing, it was very successful. I would fill out rooms, workshops would book out, etc. But I had no system in place to do that consistently. 100%. So I'd have months where it was really, really good, and then I'd have months where I was so exhausted after doing all of that that I wouldn't have any consistent lead flow. I wouldn't be able to follow that up. So I'd have weeks and months of great income and then months of nothing, whilst I was trying to work out how to fix that. And so I didn't have those systems and processes in place.
Sure. So we're pretty much at a point where, and I know this is kind of a bit of a personal thing, but there's a bit of debt there, and things weren't 100%. And that was one thing that really made us want to help, because you had so much amazing knowledge and experience and leverage points and exposure and credibility built up over your 15 years of just being amazing at what you do, but still weren't monetizing at 100%. So working off that flatline base where there wasn't income being generated, what I would love to know with you is, when we first started working together, what was the big switch? What was the first thing that we put in place to start the process of extracting that knowledge and consolidating everything? What was the first thing that we kind of did together?
There was a couple of things. The first thing, and the first aha really for me, was a lot of the money that I'd earned previously, because I didn't know how to do the technology stuff. I didn't know how to do the online courses, and I always thought that I wanted to do that, but just didn't have the ability to do it.
Sure.
And so I'd outsourced everything. So I'd outsourced any website I needed, I'd outsourced it. Any marketing system I'd needed, I'd outsourced it. And so I'd spent huge amounts of money. Everything I earned in the business went back into the business, and I was just I was spending more than I was actually earning. And the first thing you guys did was said, stop. Let's just look at how to learn the basics of what you need to do, so that once you've learned what you need to do, then you can outsource it. And so I did that. I literally stopped my business for 3 months whilst I just learned and went through your process, first in the 6-figure coach and then in the 7-figure coach, of how to build an online course, how to build a membership site, how to build a really basic website that was about just leveraging leads rather than selling my product. I had a huge website before that had lots of product on it, that the book was sold through, all the CDs were sold through, etc. But it wasn't a good marketing tool for me, and it was about selling stuff rather than giving stuff.
Awesome.
And so you taught me how to just produce a little website myself, and I pushed myself through it, and I did it, and I look at my membership site and I go, oh my God, I created that.
That was cool.
But now that I know that, one of the key things that it's taught me is that I may never want to build my own membership site again.
Totally.
However, I now have a skeleton in place, if you like, to duplicate it again and again, and I now know when I'm outsourcing what to ask for, how much to spend. I know what I'm actually doing now.
Yeah, awesome. So lots of key distinctions there. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're right. When we first started working together, what was going on is, because of all that knowledge and all that experience, there were 6 products happening, 6 different channels of ways in which you're having income. And the first principle came in place, which was focus. And we stripped apart all those other, pretty much everything, and then rebuilt a premium product, which you deserve to be paid to get the clients the results that you've had. So, that was the first sort of real key thing that we wanted to help you with. And, just having that one product, and you're right, putting together a really basic site with not a huge amount on there, and being able to leverage that one product and just focus on that. I remember from the start, you just really demolished it right from the start. Lots of ups from the start. So I remember you made 5 sales in a week, or 5K, and then made a 5K sale or a 3K sale.
Yep.
The price of your one-on-ones went way up because you're now selling a one-to-many program.
Absolutely. Before I was charging around $1,800, and it went up to $3,000, and now it's up to $5,200 for a 3-month one-on-one program. And then I have a $9,000 program now as well, and I've sold 2 of those. So
wow. So 18K in sales that's awesome. Like, it's amazing. And we'll get to, because that was the initial up. And there've been lots of ups, and now it's really starting to get consistency, but there've also been some downs as well, which is really important for the guys listening to understand that it's not just a boom, clear-cut takeoff right from the start. Even if you do have experience, it's something that you have to work at, and if you've got enough passion and love for serving the clients you do, then you will persevere and you will get through. And so when we were looking at that, kind of all these different things, and knowing that you had all these different strengths and abilities to deliver all these different products, we were excited because we knew in the future you'd be able to access all of that. We just wanted to start with that one. So it was amazing to see you get that traction. And
that was hard, because I was used to being so good at so many things, and my leads came organically from, oh, I've heard you do this, I've heard you do that, can you help me with this, and I was used to saying yes.
Yeah, totally.
And that's why I ended up with so many projects, lots and lots of energy going out, and not being able to maximize the energy coming back to me, which was a financial reward. I wasn't able to maximize that.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing that was so exciting for us, because so many opportunities do come to you thanks to how amazing you are at what you do. So we're just like, holy crap, you've got all these different channels coming into all these different products, and we just went, how about we get all these different channels and just put them into one product? And that's what allowed us to really master that product, systemize it, make sure that one-to-many program was really good. So do you want to quickly talk through the process that you went through with that one-to-many, putting together that one-to-many program? Because I know a lot of guys want to have an online program listening along.
Yep.
What was the process you went through?
Challenging.
Yeah.
yeah. Getting my head around the technology of it was step one, and some people handle technology really, really well. I'm not one of those people.
That's okay. But you're right, it was a struggle.
I knew that if I could push through that and really just get that thing up and running, then it would be a solution, and I could refine it and make it perfect afterwards, but it was about getting that 80-20 rule, getting it up, and I actually had my first 5 or 6 sales on it before it had even been finished. I think it was a 14-week program, and I think I was on developing week 5 or 6, and I started marketing it, and I already had 3 or 4 sales on it.
Awesome.
And then there was a period around week 10 where in the development stage where I just lost the momentum and life got busy, and I didn't have the energy to finish it. But people were coming up very close, so I was sort of a week behind.
Yeah.
And so there was that stress and tension around, people were working on week 9, and I still hadn't finished writing week 10 or filming week 10. So it was a lot of pressure, but once it was done that day, that last video went up, and that course was a real product now that I no longer had to work on. Now I just needed to look at it, reflect on it, perfect it, and keep selling it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was amazing.
So what was the celebration that you did when you got to that point?
I think I slept. I think I just slept. I tell you, it was a very stressful period, but so worth it. It's changed my business.
Amazing. Cool. So that's a lot about the ups that have happened. And I know putting together that product's not easy. You put a lot of content together, and I've seen it. It's an amazing course, thanks to your amazing knowledge. But putting together a bunch of videos and just having this one-to-many program that is online, systemized, it is a product. It will be perfected even more in the future, but it's real. And that's not an easy process. But we talk about the ups, making 18K sales with your one-on-one, making a bunch of 1 and 2K sales with the product, which has fluctuated in price a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the downs. If you were to talk to the guys about, I guess, the 3 biggest struggles that you went through throughout this process to get to a point now where you're consistently having 10K weeks, what would those struggles be?
Focus.
Yeah,
completely. Being able to maintain that focus, which was, for me, I still was getting all of these, can you do this for me, can you do that for me? And so being able to learn how to say no, or at
really
least
important.
The part of me, the business part of me that would say, I shouldn't be saying no to that business, I should really grab it here and to keep focused on this. And I was, taken off track a few times, and there were a few red herrings, but it was when I would come back to just focusing on this course that things would start to shift and move again.
Yeah, totally. And it's, for you, the focus is even more difficult because you have the opportunities coming at you. A lot of other coaches don't necessarily have all those opportunities, but they feel the temptation that they want to get some sort of variety in the business. And
some of the other challenges were personal life. Personal life gets in the way with all of us. We're still all having to deal with relationships and family and all the things that life goes on. And so there were a lot of personal challenges that came my way, with some family deaths and things like that took my attention away from what I was doing. So I just had to accept what I could do and commit the time during the week. Rather than doing, say, 5 or 6 days a week, I was committing 2 days a week to still focus on the business while I was dealing with that stuff.
They were really extreme
circumstances, but it kind of highlighted for me how passionate I really wanted and it was about this, because the stuff was going on, but I also knew that whatever time I could get, it gave me the momentum to keep moving forward, and I knew that I was making a difference. So for 100%. Me, that was about just that focus.
Yeah, awesome. What was one last struggle that sort of came up?
Believing that there was going to be an end point to it, definitely, and just pushing through the resistance, pushing through the wishing and wanting I could outsource this, or that somebody else could do it for me, and believing that I could really do these things that I'd never done before, which was put a membership site together. Yeah,
100%. And for you it's tech, but for everybody there's different elements. For some people it's getting up and presenting.
The videoing side of it, and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah,
so definitely. Good. And we could feel the frustration that was coming through when we're chatting consistently. with that tech stuff, but massive
But you guys
kudos
helped
to you.
tremendously. Every time I reached out, either you or Mario or Josh,
Yeah.
even Matt, they were helping me tremendously on, designing a Facebook ad, just even learning how to do Facebook ads, and helping me with that side, or helping me work through the remarketing pixel that you did for me and stuff. Just things that I could not get my head around. Whenever I asked, that was always there, and I appreciated that so much.
Awesome, thank you. So what do you think the three main marketing strategies that you've used have been in the business? Because we just spoke about online marketing, so that's one.
Facebook, definitely.
Yep.
Keynotes.
Yeah, 100%.
They're my big things, and I would think...
What about what we've just spent? Because by the way, guys, we've literally just spent 2 days at a 7-figure coach intensive.
Yep.
Learning about
partnerships. Yeah, definitely.
How about you talk to the guys quickly about the partnership you just ran in New Zealand?
I was asked to come to New Zealand to the Federation and speak at their 2-day
Federation,
event.
what was
Federation for New Zealand Federation for Hypnosis.
Yeah, cool.
And I was their keynote speaker over there on 2 topics. I was speaking on one day on emotional eating solutions, and on the second day on autoimmune disease and the mind-body connection with health.
Awesome.
And I used some great case study experiences. We talked about this earlier today, where I got some case studies that had an incredible success story that I'd worked with for a few years, and we got them on Skype. Trish was one of them. We got them on Skype through the conference whilst I was doing the keynote. Part of the keynote was a half-hour Skype session with Trish, and she was able to communicate and interact with the members that were watching the program.
Just to quickly jump in, for the guys that are listening, Trish is Maggie's PA, who was a client which had a weight loss success story of 80 kilos.
81 kilograms,
81 kilos in fat loss, which is insane. And so
at the age of 56 she started as well. So she dealt with huge amounts of addiction. She had gained and lost 50 kilograms 3 times throughout her life. So you can imagine how devastating that would be to lose 50 kilos and then put 45 or 55 back on.
Totally.
And by the time she came to me, she was 56 years old and had just given up. She was ready to have a stomach staple. Wow. And the doctor had sent her to a psychologist to get the approval for the operation, and she didn't want it because her sister-in-law had died of a procedure like that in the years prior, so she was fearful of that operation. And eventually, so desperate, she'd lost another 30 kilos, had put 20 on within 2 weeks. She felt like she was going back where she was. And so the doctor sent her to the psychologist. Thank God that psychologist had been working with me for a couple of years.
Awesome.
And they recommended me, and Trish has never looked back. So that was 4 years ago, and Trish has took 2 years working with her to get through the addictions, get through the processes, and get that 80 kilos off. And she's since become one of my key mentors on the program, which is amazing. She's now a counsellor on the program.
Wow.
And travels the world with me and teaches people.
Your clients can become team members, especially if their transformation's that powerful and they want to help other people, so that's really cool. But so at this keynote in New Zealand, the JV that you set up with the Hypnosis Federation of New Zealand, you did the case study, and what were the results of that?
We had 36 people in the room, and I was allowed to bring my books, and I was allowed to bring an order form of introductory products. So I'd set up a product just for the actual conference, for the conference attendees, and it was called the Works program. So it was 3 different online programs that little audio download systems and ebooks and things like that they could get.
Totally.
And the total value with a strategy session with me, the total value worked out to about $600, and I was selling it for $170 so it was a no-brainer deal basically. And out of 36 people in the room, we had 34 sales.
It's amazing, right?
And since then, we've also converted a lot of those people onto my Keystone product as well.
I think we figured it out, and there was like 18K or something just from that, which is really, really powerful, and a lot more.
Yes, I'm going back there in a month's time to run workshops that they're organising for me as well.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of those relationships will continue to build and convert as well, which is really powerful. So cool. So JVs, presentations, and online marketing, which you've just absolutely been smashing. So massive praise to you for implementing things so damn well. Awesome. So, all right, cool. Let's talk a little bit about where you're at now. And what do you think if you were to give the guys listening some advice, what would your 3 biggest tips be to help them go from that start point of pretty much being at ground one in terms of income to being able to develop and get to a point where you can have consistent 10K weeks with your own coaching business, with your own online premium product? Yep. What would 3 tips be that could help them get to that point?
I think they come from your program, focus, action and clarity. Yeah. So for me, the biggest thing, and if no matter where you are, whether you're right at the beginning or whether you've already got a client base, it's about having clarity, absolute clarity about who your niche is, who you want to sell to, and what your product is going to be. And
100%.
when I got that, when I really got that, yeah, sure, I could produce 20 products, I could produce 50 products. Tomorrow, if you said to me, produce another product, I could do it. Yeah?
I know you could.
Once I actually got that it was one product that was going to actually be the key, and that one product was going to leverage to everything else. My book, which I thought was my product originally, but that was my business card. I get that now.
Yeah, that was your marketing.
But that book has now sold more because I've been promoting this one product, because I focused and just created this one product. So now the book sells of its own accord because of that.
Amazing. So focus and the clarity that comes with that, and then you said action as well.
Action,
explain what you mean by action.
And action every day, no matter how crappy you feel, no matter whether it's a good day or a bad day. Even on the days while I was going through the stuff with the family traumas and things that were going on, even if it was a day that was my off day, I was only doing, say, 2 days a week full time in the business. On the days that I wasn't, I would take at least one little action, even if it was just posting to my Facebook group, or even if it was sending a message to all the members on the Keystone product and keeping connected to them. So
amazing.
It was just that one little action, just so I stayed connected to it, no matter what you're going through with the rest of your life.
Yeah, awesome. And it's funny because those 2 things, focus and action, are so straightforward. And a lot of the guys in the program, like if we look at all the clients that we had and just spent days with in our 7-figure coach program, which is our premium, really premium program where the guys are kicking some serious butt, and everyone always gets tempted by new exciting things and wanting to do different things and launch new products and have a downsell product. But all the time we're always coming back to focus and we're always coming back to action. And for some people it's frustrating because they don't want to hear that. They want to hear something new and they want to get some new stuff. However, we just know that, and you've had that through lots of experience, and so have I, from having massive lack of focus and massive lack of action, to realize that it really is about taking leveraged action on marketing, channeling it towards your focus product, and that makes a big difference.
And if I look back on the growth of that over the last couple of months, when I was diverted, when my attention was diverted into somebody had asked me for a sleep program, which has nothing to do with my Keystone product. And I got 5 or 6 inquiries in 1 week about, haven't you got something for sleep? How can't you help me sleep better? And my old mind stepped in and went, I can do that, I can create that, no problem. I'm just a day in the recording studio, just da-da-da-da-da. And it was about 2 days later I went, what am I doing again? Okay, I can do a sleep. So I just created this little diary, which is like my ideas, my magical ideas for the future diary. And I just, all the ideas that were coming to me about new products and all that stuff, I just put it in that and thought, that's for later. I'm going to deal with this.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I come back to this course all the time.
100%. And you are halfway to having this product and business model making 7 figures. You've put in all the hard groundwork. It's just about upping the marketing and sales and systemizing that. And then when that gets to 7 figures, then we know what's next, right? That's when we're going to be able to launch the new product.
I can duplicate this. Within 12 months, I can have this system duplicated 3 or 4 times.
100%.
I can just see it. It's just exciting. And the little part of me that's the entrepreneur wants to go, I want to do that now, I want to do that now. But I just keep coming back to, no, get this system in place. And exactly what you said, systemize it. And that was been my failure in the past. It's why I wasn't financially successful, why I would spend more than I would earn, because I didn't have the foundation in place.
You totally deserve it, by the way. You deserve to be where you're at, and it has been hard, so you totally deserve it. Your expertise, your experience, your hard work, your love, such love for your clients, totally deserve it. So massive kudos to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Just to summarize for the guys listening, essentially Maggie started at ground zero, built a product, got focused, 100% focused on something premium, delivering a solution, nailed your marketing, nailed the important things that you needed to set up that, like the tech stuff and getting that product together, and then just action, 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 checking yourself with the focus, and just literally putting those steps in place. You've been an amazing client, still are an amazing client, and you will be for a long time, fingers crossed. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So guys listening, hope you really enjoyed that. Peace out. Awesome guys, so how cool was that? To really break down and go through Maggie's journey. She's an amazing lady. That was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed that interview. She has really gone through a lot, but to get to a point where she is now, consistently doing $10,000 a week, is amazing. But to be honest with you guys, 81% of coaches fail in the first 3 years. So if you want to learn how to do exactly what Maggie did and be able to structure this for your coaching business, what you need to do is go below this video, okay, put in your details, claim a free clarity session with myself or one of our team, and we'll help create that custom blueprint for you. Obviously, we would love to work together. However, in this session, we'll just break down and give you a strategy, see whether or not we can help you, and if we can, we'll give you that blueprint. You can walk away knowing exactly what your product should be, what your niche should be, how to price point things, how to make sure that you know how to generate leads for your coaching business, and how to get that cash flow rapidly. So, love to see you in one of those sessions. Can't wait. So go below, fill that in, have an awesome day, and we can get you to that place where you're doing at least $10,000 a week in your own coaching business. So have an awesome day, guys. Peace out. Much love.